Unveiling the Mystery, the passive voice with might. Hello, language explorers. Today, we are diving deeper into the realm of English language learning, with a particular focus on intermediate grammar. Our topic of discussion? The passive voice with might. This video will first introduce you to the general concept of passive voice, so don't worry if you're not yet familiar with it. So, let's get started. The concept of passive voice may sound complicated, but it really isn't. In English, we have two main voices, active and passive. The active voice is what we use when the subject of the sentence is the one doing the action. But what happens when we want to emphasize the action itself or the object receiving the action rather than the doer? That's where the passive voice comes in. For instance, consider the active sentence, John wrote the book. If we wanted to focus more on the book rather than John, we would use the passive voice. The book was written by John. Notice that the object in the active sentence, the book, becomes the subject in the passive sentence. Might is a modal verb in English, commonly used to express possibility. It's used in both active and passive sentences. For example, John might write the book, active voice, and the book might be written by John, passive voice. Now, when we combine the concept of passive voice with the modal verb might, we create sentences that emphasize a possible action happening to the subject. For instance, consider the sentence, the report might be finished by tomorrow. Here, might be finished is in the passive voice with might, indicating a possibility that the report will be done by a certain time. The definition of passive voice with might can be stated as the structure where we use might along with the past participle of the main verb to indicate a possible action happening to the subject, rather than the subject doing the action. Here's the formula: subject plus might plus be plus past participle plus by plus agent. It's important to remember that the agent, the one performing the action, may often be omitted in passive sentences, especially when it's not important or unknown. And that's our introduction to the passive voice with might. Grammar is like a puzzle, and each new piece you learn, like today's topic, helps you see the bigger picture more clearly. I hope this video has demystified the concept of passive voice with might for you. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, every step forward is a step closer to mastery. Until next time, happy learning!